Okay. Mansion on hard. That's so fucking unfair. Like, the speed, the velocity. That they could fire double barrels at. That's the one in the corner. Since we're analyzing, we're just gonna use the free run. No, we're not. We'll go purist too. That's hard. Ancient on hard is indeed hard. It is a good enough. It's not the hardest in the series. No, not at all. But it's up there. But a lot of the original Time Splitter is just a lot of memorization. Knowing where enemies were spawning at and be waiting for you. And I wish they would have carried this feature on to some of the later releases where to kill a zombie, you actually gotta take his head off, otherwise he won't die. These two right here will actually be careful. Guy around the corner. Okay, let him run out if you fuck up. It's like Rainbow, you know, you just drag to you. Let him push you. A lot of times, no one's shit, you know, that's a good one. No one when these enemies are gonna come in. So the game tries to get you right there. How the game literally gets you right there. Peekaboo. It's funny, and these ones zombies don't like people, they just approach and beat them to death. Watch sometimes the shotgunners want to be like its hands. Worse than the cost of some blood. Almost fucked up right there, missed. See, it's at least get the shotgun out of their hands first. Matters the most. Okay, usually that Tommy gun's not that accurate like that. That's actually kind of rare right there. zombies are stupid, they just wander on. Okay, two are gonna come out here. Down there. Two on the steps. Again, it's just mostly knocking the shotgun off and then killing them later. Because if you let them go with the shotgun, they'll just destroy you. The shotgun zombies in the corner, there's nothing more terrifying. And sometimes this guy right here will spawn in and you won't even hear him. You won't get that sound. So you really can't hit that from there. Again, those zombies, they just shoot shotguns like machine guns in here. This is why we save the health rate. One on the stairs. It's okay if they get back up, we can always kill them later. We gotta go get health. Okay, she doesn't have any guns. That dodge was epic, I heard. I was like, I'm fucked. Also health down under the steps there, and ammo right here, but we don't need it. Mute around the corner. Oh, shotgun. Gun. They could just extended shootouts. Got that zombie to move. Usually it's a corner like that. There's gonna be one right there. Let him come out. Pro strat right there. Your shotguns will melt you. I don't know what spawned in. Oh, that was a rare trigger. And you get these triggers, there should be one right here too. Didn't happen. Interesting. One of the biggest things that always amazes me about this game is how fast it runs. Up on the steps here, there's gonna be two of them. Always risky right there. Right around here. Again, the goal is usually just to knock the shotgun down. Not necessarily kill them at first. Yeah, mansion on hard is pretty difficult. As you're about to see when I get this health. Watch this shit. Cheeky. Cheeky. It's little things like that. If you forget, they will destroy you. This is a trap right here. god. That's why this level's hard. And you're dead. Pure luck. 10% skill. Yes, that's my opinion on this level. I just take before I actually do it. Several tries. And no matter how good you play it, all it comes down to is luck. Make one fractional mistake and you're dead. And boom, you're back, you're starting the whole level. I mean, I could be that guy and use the rewind feature on this, but I'm just exploring the level, so I'm not. Because we could just go back and be like, oh, I remember this, It's a nice thing about the emulator, I guess. There's a rewind feature, but most emulators have a rewind feature, so Sony's not really ahead of the game on it, but better than no emulator PS2 games, I guess. Biggest game choosers. And I think these ports are good. All games. But this level's fully gotcha moments. Right here. Did not have my shotgun reloaded in time. Because you have it reloaded, you could just boom. And this is where it gets brutal. You're gonna have zombies coming up the steps, and they're gonna have shotguns. Like, where'd he come from? Where's he even at? You know? He's not the worst, these two are. This guy's gonna be right there, there's gonna be another guy right there, two of them. Damn. So fast. These guys just fucking bomb rush the fucking shit out of you too. And then sometimes it's just a matter of dodging the splitters. But honestly, from here, you just freaking run. Because it doesn't matter who's shooting at you when you just run. At least in this context. And that's hard. Extremely hard. Compared to Village on easy, which we could put it under half a minute. I have cough drops in my mouth. There's really no funny business in here on this one. This is the Digitown Spears. Just run past all these motherfuckers regulars. Fucking for you today. Okay, sometimes you really can't stay down, but that's sloppy play by me. Keep on shooting. Boom. Also, another thing I always thought was really nice was the original, like Nazi Zombies formula was created by these guys, Free Radical and Time Splitters. A team like Steve Ellis, David Oak really created that formula. You know, this is the foundation of round-based zombies. Zombie survival. This game came out in 2000. Left 4 Dead came out in 09. The original World War 2008. So if you figure it was developed probably 2007. Almost a whole decade later. And I'll tell you what, this is pretty fast. Though the pathway for some of them NPCs is kind of 2000's launch title for the PS2 was the zombies are fast, and you gotta turn your head and it's like boom, go behind you. But in this game I get to play barely skip the beat. But that was always interesting to me, just to demonstrate that. The quickness. And of course the hardest challenge of all time. Space Vandals. Cough. This challenge always gave me nightmares. If you don't do this in a certain way, you're fucked. It's literally impossible to beat. It's the one very, very few thing I will seriously critique this game for the first time splitters. Because whatever this challenge is hot awful. I can't say I've ever 100 that right there would fucking me over so much. These guys up here. Oh shit. I forget the path we're going around the path. Sometimes these guys will get stuck down a rock. And how do you beat that? This shit right here. Where this guy gets stuck behind this fucking rock. You cannot. Honestly, this is the only challenge I think that was poorly designed in this game. Actually. Because this is bad. Are we to kill him? Get out and physically shoot him. I forget the score, but it's kind of a certain score before a certain round. You're never going to beat the type of game. I forget what it is, but this is notorious in the community for being downright near impossible if you don't play everything 100% perfect. It's like shooting others in nobody's hand. Right there, you can't hit behind that rock. That angle is impossible to hit. you have that secondary fire, which is so important for long range hits. And it's not thought out well because enemies get stuck behind rocks, like that guy, and it's just unfair. In my opinion, it makes it unplayable. Makes it broken. You like physically have to get up off your ass and kill all these guys. Thank God for auto. Auto only makes this much easier. But man, cheek, the little cheek. I don't consider myself a pro, but I've never beat this challenge. So I can't say I 100% of this game completely, but close enough. Another really, really difficult one was this one.
Okay, sir.
The speed at which enemies will drain the escort's health is literally like ungodly. Like, you gotta get the point. Well, you just hit speed. You die, you're pretty much fucked. Drainer, huh? Yeah, I don't ever remember this game as fast on the original PlayStation. First I thought it was an emulator thing. But I have beat this thankfully. I don't gotta beat this again. Fuck that challenge. If you ain't gotta play it, if you don't gotta play it, don't play it. Only one. I'm gonna say that too. Because it's broken, because it's just hard. Yeah, some of these are pretty iconic though to me. I always liked the original Time Splitters. It's always good. Fast. That's a big full bots here. Just use the overpowered guns. It's crazy to think this game was actually developed and made in only 10 months, start to finish. Which is insane, man. Much props though. Especially being that nobody at that time really had the PS2 dev kit hardware down. You know, that was really not common. So... especially be able to get a game to run like this on a PlayStation 2 when it first came out. It's like legendary. A very humble opinion. I think this game often gets overlooked. Like Time Splitters 2, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, being Future Perfect. I think most people, if they were to make a rating, they would put this last. A little rare vertical FPS. And then again, Haze will probably be the last. What am I saying? But most fans of these games, we pretend that Haze doesn't actually exist. So therefore we don't have to live with the painful memory that Haze existed. Haze was the thing. Haze kind of killed the whole franchise. The ripple effect that had was bad. So. Little history lesson on the line. I don't know what kind of content I'm making here. So. But Haze, man. That was... most people don't know, Free Radical was supposed to make a third game in the original trilogy that was supposed to be with the Star Wars Battlefront games. And they were, at the time, subcontractor owned the publisher, EA Games, charged for everything. They literally charged for everything. And yeah, that was how they ended up getting Time Splitters Future Perfect published. Was through EA. And EA liked the game so much, they were pretty much like, hey, how do you do make Star Wars Battlefront sequel to number 2? Then they started working on Star Wars Battlefront 3, which would have rounded out the trilogy of the PlayStation, all the old, you know, I think with 6th gen, 6th gen, 6th gen consoles, Xbox, GameCube, the great PS2, would have really rounded it out nice. And we got about 95% done, actually. And you know, EA decided to cancel the project. Free Radical was not a big studio. You know, they really didn't have the funds. And that pretty much killed them at that time, because they were like, well, we can't afford to recuperate any cost for this. So like, we spent all this money to develop this game halfway. Like, it was close to being finished. And they pulled the plug. Which, I don't know why. I forget the reason. To me, no reason would ever be a good reason. Because, come on now, this is like awesome the way they had this game set up. You know, you would have simultaneous space battles and ground battles going on at one time. And that was like so different, because around that time, you know, 2008, 2009, getting into that time frame, like, you didn't have games like that where they were so good with the technology that you could just switch between like that in real time in a multiplayer match. So yeah, it was cool. I felt really would have revolutionized everything, and I could only imagine the arena shooting quality that they would have brought to a franchise like Star Wars Battlefront. Because at the root of all Time Splitters games lies Unreal Tournament. If you play the original, and you play Time Splitters 1, Time Splitters 2, Future Perfect, like... I'm not saying that Free Radical copied, but they're pretty much interchangeable. One-on-one with each other. They're extremely similar the way they play. Extremely. Which isn't a bad thing, because Unreal Tournament, Quake 3, obviously the Unreal games are great. So are the Time Splitters games. Some of my favorites to play. You know, it's kind of a dead genre now, is the arena shooter. But yeah, they would have brought a little bit of that flavor with some vehicular combat. I think it really could have revolutionized that franchise. And it would have been a nice way to round out a real monumental series from that generation. A lot of us grew up playing. So what ended up happening was they ended up getting with Sega. Sega was the next company that published them. And at this time, through 2007, 2008, 2009, the trend in a lot of first-person shooting games was realistic military shooting. So they pretty much gave Free Radical the ultimatum. It was like, okay, if we're gonna pick you up, basically you're gonna have to make a hyper-realistic first-person shooter. And that presented a lot of problems for a developer like Free Radical. Being that Free Radical was never really known to be a realistic company like that. In terms of the content they created, they were always more on the fantasy, fictional side. Not to say that all, you know, of course, all games they make are like that, fiction, but like they weren't really on the serious nature, like hyper-realism, serious tone. They were more like parody, comedy, humor. Have fun with the type of a company. Even like Banjo-Tooie, you could look at like Conkers, they did Jet Force Gemini, which is a great underrated third-person shooter. Kind of clunky these days, simply because, you know, it's a third-person shooter on a 64-bit Nintendo console with that controller. It really wasn't too good, I feel, for third-person games. But they never made a hyper-realistic, serious game. And they tried to do their magic with Haze. It just didn't work out. You know, Haze was a game that couldn't really get its identity down, couldn't really find its footing. Because Haze was kind of like an in-between. You know, part of the game took itself extremely serious. And another part of the game was really comical. So they tried to blend the two together, and it was just terrible. It was god awful. It was one of the worst games that was released that year, I feel. I'm gonna have to go through and play through some time with Haze, just to suffer for the history. But you can picture after an event like that, you don't recover. Like, you don't go from GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Time Splitters, Haze, and redeem yourself. You just don't. It was that bad. Like, they pretty much killed the Free Radical company. And they ended up being sold off to Crytek. And they did Homefront. So, guys, and I'll tell you what. I'm gonna be one of those people. Since I like the original Homefront. I thought it was a good game. I used to play the multiplayer. Yeah. I used to play the original multiplayer Homefront. I thought it was alright. Then all of a sudden they're making the Homefront Revolution. Got another unpopular opinion. I thought it was a good game. I really liked it. The premise was good. Execution was good. The storyline, the resistance against the evil invading North Korean army. We have to rise up through the ranks, fight back, and regain control of the city. I like that. For a lot of people that are fans, remember, especially the times when you see the inside of Homefront Revolution. Got a lounging hideout area where a lot of the resistance is. There's an arcade machine with an Easter egg. Inside of that is an Easter egg. There is 2 of the original, yes, 2 of the original Time Splitters levels from Time Splitters 2 that were remade and remastered. And that was cool. Everybody liked that because who doesn't like Time Splitters 2? You know, that and perfect, dark, like, monumental of first-person shooters in the history of, like, engaging and jumping. Those are really, like, great games, all-time games. Like, I'll put them up over Doom, Quake, you know, Unreal. But yeah, they came to know a little while later that the whole code existed for an entire high-definition 4K remastered Time Splitters 2. And it was hidden in there. And it was lost. But thank God it was rediscovered. And it was awesome. So now if you have the PC version, you can actually download a mod once you get to that point in the game. You're able to access that arcade machine. You can literally play the entire second Time Splitters game remastered, high definition. Multiplayer, challenges, everything works. Story, of course. And that was really with that at a Time Splitters. Because there was also another game that they were making if we're going down this rabbit hole of history, because nobody really remembers that game. Where basically they were going to do a battle royale game. And thank God the plug was pulled on that, because that was no good. It was... Haze level proportions of bad, because what Free Radical did was pretty much fucking take Fortnite and reskin it with Time Splitters assets and characters, and it was terrible. But at the same time, that kind of really killed... I can see why they did it, because they wanted to do it in a way so they would get a game with money, and with money they could make Time Splitters 4 and not just sequel. So in that aspect, I can get why they would want to do a quick cash in that, just to get some money, just to be able to make a 4th game. But of course that was cancelled because it was terrible, and I think that would have really ended Time Splitters, because it would have been a bad Time Splitters game. And that's just, oh, those words don't taste good in my mouth. A bad Time Splitters game, like, no such thing, you know? No such thing. It would be impossible. So, that's gonna be interesting to see where the future goes, as far as Time Splitters. Fans such as myself, we've really been waiting. I've been waiting since I picked up Time Splitters Future Perfect in 2006. Boy, a proper sequel to it. And they were supposed to come out with 1, 4, of course, in between. They were making it, got lost, didn't really get out of the alpha stages. Stuck in there. And it's interesting because there was a gentleman who had bought a used PS4 or PS3 on eBay, and it had a dev kit in it. And one of the games in that dev kit in that PS3 was the alpha build of first level demo of Time Splitters 4. So it was really interesting to see. But you know, that I never really formulated anywhere past that. And I have doubts that we'll ever see a proper Time Splitters sequel. Because like I said, you're getting what I alluded to, these games were made during an era where gaming was much different. And the whole arena genre, arena shooters genre is dead. Nobody plays arena shooters, you know? They're a relic of their time. They're hard to get into, they're difficult, there's a skill gap, they're limited. It's more of a simplistic formula. It's not going to be like COD, you know, COD sells. So, and just being able to come back to our what, almost 20 years now, and pick up where you left off. Really like the game. Not a lot of bands here, not a lot of music. Maybe it's different in cinema. Because you can make the sequel. I mean, Terminator 2, I guess. Alien and Aliens. Maybe. Escape from New York, Escape from LA. It's sometimes possible. But there's big gaps. Like video games that have never really played out good. Large gaps in between sequels. Things just change too much to the point where like it's just not feasible to pick up where you left off. I mean, it's nice to put these on the PlayStation Store like they were in the Xbox Store. So there's been a lot of interest, a lot of rekindling in the Time Splitters games, and this is pretty much all I played. This Battlefield 1. You know, gaming-wise, since September of this year. Because, you know, these games were a core part of my childhood. You know, friends would come over to play this. Me and my one friend would spend hours every night, get together every Friday night playing this all night long. Food, floats, popcorn, you know, we just go to town. Especially on Future Perfect. We lived on that game. So for me, there's substantial nostalgia there. But nostalgia is powerful, but also can only go so far. You know, nostalgia could cloud the judgment by thinking because it's mostly emotion. But thankfully, nostalgia is safe and real games hold up fairly well. Though the first Time Splitters games aged a significant bit, it's still a pretty good game. And it still offers such a unique experience, you know? You don't really get games like this anymore. So it's got that going for it. But I don't think we'll ever see a Time Splitters 4.